Hi guys. How are we doing this humble Wednesday? I'm doing pretty good. I am actually at home right now because, well, okay. The truth is, I actually had this episode completely done, and I had like 30 minutes of this episode completely finished. And then I was like, I don't like it. So now I'm redoing it. Because I feel like, I don't know, this is kind of a very important topic, and I don't want to like beat around the bush or anything, and I just want to get to exactly what I want to say and explain everything, just so I feel like I know what I'm talking about, and I just am having the best time with it. So, today, you guys are actually getting 2 episodes today. This one is a review of the Barbie movie, which includes spoilers. So, if you have not already watched the Barbie movie, that's what the other episode is for. You can go and watch that real quick, and then whenever you finish watching the movie and whenever you're ready, you can watch this episode too. So, if you've already watched the Barbie movie, you get 2 episodes today. So, that's exciting. So happy for you. Anyway, yeah, so right now I'm actually getting ready for a voice lesson that I have in 32 minutes. So I have to curl my hair and then do my makeup really quickly. So we're just going to be girly pop talking about a girly pop movie. Speaking of which, I have to spray my hair really quickly, so you're going to hear like a bunch of squirts. Just don't even worry about it, okay? Okay, I'm done. Girls, always use heat protectant. Literally, my hair was so healthy last year, and then I decided to curl my hair every single day without heat protectant, and it literally killed my hair. It is dead looking, a little bit. Anyway, so let's get into the topic at hand. So, the Barbie movie basically is, whenever I'm looking at it from an outside perspective, okay, it is a satire or a parody on the idea of the patriarchy and feminism. It basically portrays the idea that in a perfect world, or not a perfect world, but in this perfect world, women run everything. And when we get to the real world, men run everything. And the main man finds this out and then goes back to the world that he's from and makes it also where men lead everything. And the ending is kind of weird because it doesn't really resolve anything based on that idea, which upsets me because it makes me think that, because you know, like our main character Barbie like gets her way and everything, so I don't know if that means that the men are in charge or if women are in charge. And personally, I don't want either of those to be the case. You know what I mean? That's what's upsetting. But, you know what? Other than that kind of plot hole, it's not really all that bad. Thoroughly, I enjoyed it. I think it perfectly portrays how it feels to be a woman, especially, like, nowadays, where, you know, we can vote. We have the right to own credit cards in our name. You know, like things that we should have, okay? And it is claimed that everything is equal. Okay, that's the world that we live in, right? There is no law or rule anymore that says that like in any capacity, that women is not equal to men. Except for like stuff of like the military and the draft. Which, you know what, I'm okay with. I don't want to do that. But yeah, that's kind of where, like, really, you know, the line is drawn, apparently. So then, you know, so then why do you hear women all the time saying that things are not equal? You know what I mean? That's why it is so frustrating. Because it is not equal. Like, in the eyes of men, we are still not equal. And I know this is not the case for every man, okay? I have a lot of men who watch my podcast, actually, and you guys are goated, okay? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the men who, at the Barbie movie, came literally just to watch it and laugh at the parts that aren't funny, and then make the women feel bad for dressing up in pink. Alright, okay, give me just a second. I have to type it. I'm also uploading the other episode right now. So give me a second. Okay, friendship. No, that was last time. Shoot. Embarrassing. I don't even know if I'm spelling that right. Things I did as a child. Thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then we are going to schedule that to come out at like 1 o'clock, maybe 1:30. Should I do 1:30? I think I should do 1:30. Yeah, come up today. I had to do 1 p.m. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, thank you guys for waiting for that. Literally, no, I was so stressed about this because I was like, okay, I know that I want to redo this other episode today, and this is the one day where I'm not even supposed to, like, record stuff, because, like, this is the one day that I don't go to the gym out of the week, so I'm, like, not even leaving the house today, so, but anyway, thank you for bearing with me. Anyway, I've heard so many stories on how, you know, because it is a real cultural phenomenon to go to the Barbie movie, right? Everybody dresses in pink, you know, has some form of pink on to support the movie, because Barbie as an icon is the color pink, okay? So every woman who passes the vibe check, you know, comes to the movie theater in pink. And you know what? From an outsider perspective who doesn't know what is going on, maybe somebody who doesn't look at social media or anything, may think that's a little weird. Because it is out of the ordinary. But that doesn't mean that that is something that you can just make fun of. Especially about the topic of the movie. That's what makes me upset, is literally the movie is about how men, even though by the words in the Constitution, okay, women are equal, but you know for a fact every woman has had issues where they know this would not happen to them because they are female. And it makes me really, really upset, because I have been there. Like, I've heard it a million times. Like, oh yeah, I didn't get this job because whatever, you know, I didn't get the promotion, but my male worker got it, but he doesn't really do anything compared to what I do. And we are told that, like, that it's not because of the fact that you're a female. But yes, it is. And you know what else makes me a little mad? Is the fact of, okay. So let me just talk about this, and let me preface this by saying, I am split on this issue, because from the perspective that I have on the gender wage gap, I don't think that there is one. But the more and more that I hear about it, it just makes me upset. Or the way that men approach answering this question that agree with me. Okay? So I agree that there is not whenever you walk in to an interview and you get the job and a man walks in and gets the job, I don't think that there is any difference in how much you're being paid for. Like, and if there is, then that business should be shut down, because that's not correct. But the things that I've heard, like, okay, my dad, avid Ben Shapiro watcher, okay? So I hear his points all the time. And it just makes me upset. And usually, a lot of the times, like, he's a very intelligent person. Like, he will just say whatever. Like, and he just doesn't care about, the way that you might feel based on his answers. He says that, like, a lot of the reasons why there is a gap is not because of anything that, like, job people are doing, but it's because of the amount of time that women take off for working. Because typically, women take off more than men do. Examples include maternity leave is longer than paternity leave. Women might take more trips. Women might take more trips. Women might have a personal day more than a man might. Stuff like that. And I think that is so wrong. And that is just, it's not true. Like, what statistics back that up? Like, okay, if I observed my parents, and this is just me making an astute observation based on my parents, my dad is not sexist or anything, and neither is my mom, okay? Like, these are both valid, points, okay? My dad takes off a lot more than my mom does. And really, I don't know why. I think he tends to be more sick than my mom does. My dad suffers from allergies. He also has, like, skin conditions and just, and he also has a lot more personal days than my mom does. Like, he has that option more than my mom does. So typically, he's home a lot more than my mom is. Now, to be fair, my dad has had the same job since he got out of college. So he, like, has a lot more, like, leniency, I guess, when it comes to his job. My mom worked whenever she got out of college, she was a teacher. So she, worked at one school and then became pregnant with my brother, and then my brother had heart issues, so she had to, like, leave for a little bit, and then she came back, and then I was born, whatever caused her to stop teaching, and she worked at the library at our town for a while, and then she worked at, like, a newspaper, and then she babysat for years, like, just out of our house. And then my sophomore year, she began working at a hardware company. And she has worked there ever since. Like, she has that difference in, like, moving jobs. But I don't know if that makes much of a difference. You know what I mean? Like, surely she's making more or less based on every job. But to say that's strictly because she's a woman, my dad could go through the exact same thing. And then my mom would have had the more stable job. That is not anything based on because she's a woman. You know what I mean? Oh, another thing that makes me mad is they say that, like, women, another thing that, like, Ben Shapiro has said, women take off more because of their periods. Claiming that, women might use that to their advantage. And you know what? It makes me a little upset because I've actually heard that excuse be made so many times. And I know, like, whenever I have, like, genuinely not wanted to go to school, and this was before we had, like, mental health days, I would say I was on my period. But that is not just a valid reason to say that women make less than men, because, I don't know, for me, whenever I had my period, unless I was, like, literally dying on the floor, I was still at school. Or if I was working and I was on my period. Literally, I think the only time that I called in to work was after a theater camp performance, and I literally started my period that day before, and I was in a costume where I could not sit down in a normal chair, so I was, like, dying. I was literally dying, and then I went home, and I genuinely could not I could not go to work. I felt so bad. But yeah, like, stuff like that. Like, why is that the points that are being made? Because there is a bias against women. And that's another point that I was gonna make. Okay, and Ben Shapiro, like, reviewed the Barbie movie, and I watched it. And sometimes he made good points, but I think here's what, you know, makes a difference, okay? So, Ben Shapiro is on that Daily Wire company, okay? You know who else is on there? Brett Cooper, okay? She is a woman and has a completely different viewpoint of the movie based on Ben. Because she understands it. From a male's perspective, I don't know if they could really, you know, understand it as much as a woman can. Which makes it valid that they would make fun of it because they don't understand it. Which brings me to my other criticism. I don't know who the Barbie movie is geared towards, other than just women in general. Because, okay, the day I watched the Barbie movie, I was babysitting my band director's kids, and she asked me to, like, let her know if this would be suitable for her young children. And at first I'm like, no. They literally say, like, penis and vagina, like, the minute the movie starts, okay? And at the ending, she goes and sees her gynecologist. But, like, then I'm also like, wait, but, like, I've seen so many kids in there watching the movie. I don't think this movie was properly advertised as much as it should have been. Because, like, usually in movies, especially movies making an adaptation on a children's toy, they would have, like, jokes that, like, the kids would understand and, like, points that, like, you know, perfectly target the children. I don't think they did that. I think majority of the jokes were about real issues in society that kids wouldn't understand. So, like, are you literally just letting your kids watch this movie where there's, like, pink everywhere, and Margot Robbie's really pretty, and Ken's funny? Like, that just doesn't... I don't feel like it markets towards kids. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's a qualm that I had because, I don't know. I don't think it was really something that I wanted kids to see necessarily. I don't know. There were definitely jokes in there that I didn't want kids to watch. Because personally, I mean, for me, I don't really think that you should, like, tell kids anything about, like, sex, literally anything until they are, like, junior high. Maybe. They can learn about their own stuff. Alright, but then to say penis and vagina in front of a kid, they're gonna be like, what's that? You know what I mean? That is what is upsetting. Just a little bit, okay? Other than that, I think they made amazing points that really, I hope, makes a difference to somebody who can do something about the way that women are treated. Because there needs to be something different. Just from the way that everything is that I've talked about, like, you know there's an issue. Clearly, because so many women like me claim there's an issue. So, I don't know. I just think it's really upsetting. And, like, just knowing that this movie was so right and it needed to come out, it was just like, wow. It makes me feel sad about the world. So, yeah. I don't know if I should end it off like this, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel very, very strongly about this topic. And I'm really glad that you guys could, like, listen to me, even if you don't agree with me on some points. It's nice that we can just talk about this. Just have, like, a real open conversation about something that, you know, makes me upset. And I think that there's real issues about our world, and this movie brings awareness to that. And whether or not, you know, it does things right plot-wise, or the jokes aren't good, or whatever you may think, or whatever I may think, it raises awareness. And that makes me happy. It's also a stunning movie. It looks so good. I love all the songs. I love Ken's song, I Am Knuff. It's literally so good. Like, out of pocket, but it's so good. And I'm really happy that, like, all the women that I've seen go and watch the movie just support each other and, you know, say that their outfits are cute and, you know, that everyone is just perfect. And it makes me just so happy because women support women. And if they don't, it's a nasty crap show. So I'm really, really happy that this is the outcome of the movie. And I hope I made you think about this a little bit more. And I hope that maybe the next time you go watch it, you think about those things. I don't know. I just think talking about it and having a deep analysis is very important. So thank you so much for watching. Next, this other episode that I uploaded today, by the way, so much less deep, I promise. However, the episode that I'm going to post on Friday, pretty darn deep, and I bet you're wondering what it is, so let me do my little drum roll. Ready? What is your favorite true crime case? Ooh. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see y'all on Friday. Bye.